There we go. See what happens. Welcome, welcome to one and all. Hopefully we got some people on. We are taking a block of firewood with adzes and we are carving it down into bowls. Making some beautiful bread bowls. So I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna get back to work because this bowl is going to be a very interesting bowl. If you like watching how stuff is made, stay tuned because we're making it right here, right now, live. Ooh, my radio voice came out. Yeah, buddy. Sharp tools. So what we're doing is we're taking this bowl and we're carving it down, and what's making it interesting is that the grain pattern of it. So you'll notice that the grain is like a book. It's going this way. So when we chop into this, we are going to get concentric circles down this bowl. And unfortunately, doing bowls like this by hand with these tools are always slow go. It takes time. And you'll notice there's no reference marks. Everything starts in my head. I got a plan. Howdy!
Yeah. How you doing, man? Russ told me he was up here.
Dude, brother, what's going on,
Man, how you doing?
I didn't recognize y'all. I'm sorry.
No,
You
you're
were
good,
probably,
man.
was you here yesterday?
Yep.
Or was it yesterday when we came here?
Yep, I was here.
I walked right past you and didn't even notice you. He's the one that noticed you.
Yeah, I'm out here. I'm out here with our homemade stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty tickled over it. We've gotten some nice bowls. I'm carving out some nice stuff now.
That is so cool.
Dude, It's legit. This is how it used to be made. You know, we're living in a time where technology and stuff's all on the rise, and you got the AI coming over and doing all the stuff that it's doing. Well, this is an older way of living. This is the way things used to be done.
That's right.
A farmer would, a farmer's wife would need a new bread bowl, or she might have started selling. She might have started selling biscuits or something, bread out of, and needed a larger bowl. So the farmer would take his time during the winter when there was nothing to do, and make this stuff up. You know?
That is awesome.
That is awesome. You make this?
Yeah.
You do pretty good.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the richest person, but God has never left me without being able to pay a bill. So I pay bills. I've been able to put this under an LLC and work on building it up.
Oh, that wood? You made
We're not the richest, but we're also not the poorest. So, it's an adventure that I'm on, and oh yeah, that one just looks like that was made for you.
That is just so cool, man.
Yes, I want to buy something.
Yeah.
Take credit.
Oh, man, come on.
I used to take credit cards. Square's been real funny. Venmo and all that stuff.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with my Venmo account.
No, you're good.
Look, there's a spatula. That is so neat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. You don't have any cash on you, do you?
I got some of it, but I don't know.
Well,
Tell me that. How much is
that's 60.
that? 60? I got it.
I'll treat you at 50. There's an eight.
I got exactly.
Well, there's also an ATM just down there too.
Here you go.
That's what we're getting. We're good to the bowl?
Here you go, sir.
Awesome, brother. Thank you.
No, thank you. So we don't break it.
I get this.
And y'all know where we're at back with Russ, and while they're dealing with Graham.
Picked up them shingles in the garage.
So that is for your oven.
Pull the rack out?
That you pull the rack out.
That's neat.
Yep.
You make this
Whoa.
basket?
You need it.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm actually. Do you know any places that might have young white oak trees that wouldn't mind cutting? Because
Anything up
I'm looking now that we're back in Waynesboro,
I mean, you know how this
and it's not healthy timber I'm after. I'm after diseased and dying timber.
Excuse me, is this a grade?
No, no. That is a cutting board or a charcuterie board from a piece of quilted maple.
And Daddy.
What? Hold on. One thing at a time. Be blessed, my brother.
You too, brother. Thank you.
Some more. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you. You too. That's awesome. Amen. Yes, indeed. We don't live around here. We go to, we live in Baltimore, but we go to a church in Waynesboro, like it's a house of prayer. Yeah. Okay, there. Okay. Have you heard of the
Where?
Worship Center?
Yeah. Here in Harrisburg? Yeah.
That's awesome. God bless you,
Bless my
sir.
brother. Yeah.
Who's our pastor? Bubba.
Bubba Friedel.
He's a very interesting pastor too. He's got a very interesting way of preaching. You go into the church, it's very laid back. It's almost like I would expect the first churches to be everyone just gathered around.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
I think we ought to get back to it.
Awesome.
Yes.
Good running into y'all. Thank you.
Indeed, brother. I like that. Don't call them arts and crafts because they're not.
Definitely not. This is the keeping, with my masonry jobs, my masonry work. I just got done of a job for the National Park Service over in Manassas, and that opened up the doors for jobs that would produce over $100,000 a year.
Nice.
But God's not opened up that door. And I've been dwelling on it and thinking on it, praying over it, and then I come to the realization that I'm one of the last of my kind here in the valley. These baskets, while everyone can make a basket, I'm one of two people left here in the state, as far as I know of, two people left in the state. One is my dad and the other is me. that can walk into the woods, source out the timber,
That's right.
and start from scratch and make a traditional white oak basket. And these are baskets that are indicative of the craft here in the Shenandoah Valley. I'm the last of my kind. Do I just up and leave it? Do I not have a moral obligation
That's
to
right.
make sure that it stays alive for one more generation?
That's right. Did you make your hat?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
I was sunburnt and I was in desperation, and I was like, I made a hat just to keep dry and keep the sun off my face.
That's right. Well, all right, brother. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yes. Now this, I can take and do something with.
Oh,
Yes.
sugar
I
maple
got
burl.
slabs at my house.
Oh,
Walnut, black walnut, everything.
oh,
Slabs.
oh.
Yep. What's up?
Yeah, man. Maybe even do some wood swapping. Hey, man, that's my language.
Yes.
I'm just moving some of this in here. I don't want anybody to go sliding.
No, definitely not. Howdy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great.
What
So,
are you working on?
well, I am carving out on a live on my YouTube channel another bread ball. So I take blocks of firewood. When this started off, it looked just like a block of firewood, and I carve stuff like this. Here's bread balls that I've carved out. They're all different sizes. This is just the size of the log that I brought in. And I've carved a couple of spoons from the scraps that came off.
That's awesome.
I've handmade everything that you see on the table.
I figured you did. That's why I left it over here.
Yeah, and then not only do I make the items on the table, but I also make my tools. When I need tools, I forge them out. I don't necessarily go out and buy them. There's some tools like this adze. I was fortunate enough to find a maker, and I was able to support him. I was doing good at the time. So I was able to get a couple of adzes, support him, he supported me, and now we're using them to carve bowls. This is the old way of making stuff here in the valley.
I like it.
Me too. I like,
so.
well, I wake up each and every morning and I'm like, oh, what do I get to carve today?
I like making stuff too. I weld stuff, and I did a little blacksmith.
Wow.
That's why when you were over here doing that, I was like, I gotta go see what he's doing.
Yeah, artists tend to draw other artists. Yeah. Do you do it for a living or?
Well, I used to weld for a living, but I switched. But I like doing it on the side. Like,
Ah.
yeah, I like making stuff and just.
Nice.
See if I got any pictures of some of the little stuff that I've made. I made like all this stuff.
Oh wow.
Plastic
Nice.
I made out of spoons.
Nice. Oh, you've taken what you've known and you've went artistical with it all the way. Oh, I love that.
A little motorcycle, a little owl.
Nice.
A lot more roses. It's real popular.
Nice.
Candle holder. A rose with a butterfly on it.
Aw.
Sunflower.
Do you set up anywhere? Do you sell, or just doing it just for the love of it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. We put some in a couple shops, but I don't really know. I haven't really went back to check if they sold or not. I just do it for fun of it. I really haven't.
Absolutely, I understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The reason I started selling it, was because I made so much of it.
Yeah.
I got to do something with it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, please, somebody come by. Somebody come by. Take it. Take it.
Right. Yeah.
But now there's just, oh crap, I got to pay this bill. Got to pay the bill. So I need a little something for it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's awesome. If I made more of it, and I'm more like if I had my own garage and stuff like that, and welded in like my own spot, I'd probably be doing the same thing you are. Be like, I have so much of it, I need to sell it.
Yeah. Well, I can't help but make stuff. Like even right now, we just moved out of Page County. We moved over into Waynesboro. I don't really have a full-time place to do this. This is kind of my way of being able to do what I love to do.
Yeah.
So I get to set up shop in here and make stuff. So it's like, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
I get to sell, I get to get rid of some of my old stuff, get to put some new stuff in, and I get to not only show people and demonstrate what I'm making, but I also get to show up to work every day.
That is awesome.
It is. Y'all are back.
Do you make these yourself?
Make everything.
Really?
Yeah, no lie, no trying to get you to buy anything. I've made everything here on the table. And I even make up the tools to make the items with.
Well,
I do my own wood burning.
those are actually cute.
They are cute. And they're all different.
What's your name?
The Bodging Bigfoot. The Bodging Bigfoot.
Okay. Alright, thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Be blessed. Whew. Boy, YouTube is a tough crowd. All right. Even this up just a little bit. Boom. Boom, boom. We want fairly similar angles. You'll notice the angle here, it's roughly the same. Now mind you, you will not see a single mark on this log for reference marks. I don't do reference marks. I only do reference marks on very special and specific bowls. Bowls with handles, all that stuff. Get a swig of coffee. Thank God for coffee. Oh, nice hot coffee. All right. Boom. So now that we have that drawn out nice and even, we got the flat bottom. If I flip this around, it sets nice and flat, very little wobble. almost no wobble. By the time we chop the ends off, it'll be good. Now we need to angle this out and angle this in. So let's chop that off, get those angles on there, and our bolt will be roughly shaped.
What?
So I'm out at a local mall demonstrating traditional bread bowl carving. And this is how they were carved in our neck of the woods. This is how I learned how to carve them. You know, I really need to take smaller bites. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. I'm just going to work that down. Absolutely, it's cool. How often do you see a bodger in a place like this bodgering away? I know. I mean, how many malls can you walk through and have to worry about getting hit by a shaving because apparently I've been casting shavings out? I mean, like, imagine if you had been here when one of those flown off, you could have been like, what was that? Y'all are going to lose y'all's people. Thanks for the awesome comments. All right. I guess this is what I get for not being too active on YouTube. Mountain man with technology. We'll buffoon our way around until we figure it out, won't we? should step back a little bit more. Yeah, I'll do it. Really, do you really see what I'm doing? Well, I'm using a very sharp tool and doing my best to keep all 5 fingers. Why, thank you. Hi. All right. Come back to that a little bit out. Boom, boom. I'm not really worried about the edge marks I'm leaving, like these little chips, because this guy will come in. This here is the finishing edge, and this guy will put the texture on it ever so beautifully. All right. So now we've got this side cut in. There it is. We need to do this side. For those who have stuck around, thank you. We're doing our best to keep all of our fingers. Take a little bit off there. Yeah.
Why would they tell me it's coming and they tell me today and they can't see their car?
Water. Do. My nose is being weird.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey man, you can have it.
Souvenir.
Turn that down. For anybody wondering about our gold mining, I'm still working, trying to get a trip to go. We're going to end up going. Boom, boom. There's a hump there. take your time. Carving a bowl like this takes time, so no worries, no stress. Just sit down, chip away. Every little shaving that comes off is a shaving closer to being a bowl. And before long, yeah, ooh, we're getting it. I am really happy with this card I made. I'm tilting the bowl up a little bit so that it is supported right here. So as I'm chopping, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a wobble right there. So I want that to be perfectly supported. So what I'm going to do is tilt the bowl up and come in and follow the tool down. Follow the cut. Cut will always guide you. As long as you're following that bevel. This bevel right here. This tool, this adze has an exterior bevel. And as long as you're following and using that bevel as a guide, you are good. You just got to learn your tool. Learn what angle to ride that bevel on. So here we are. So we've got that angle. We've got this angle. Now this angle here is a little steeper. So we're going to step back. Same deal as before. Step it back, sweep down. Just like that. And we want the sapwood to be like here. So this, we're just at the end of the heartwood. So we're going to keep stepping it back and working it down, keeping the angle the same. Howdy! Welcome to my table. Welcome to my shop. You are talking to the bodging Bigfoot himself. My name is Mr. Bigfoot. It is nice to meet you. My real name is Nathan. Most people call me Bigfoot simply because of how hairy I am and how much time I prefer to spend into the woods. Yeah. So I started learning to do this when I was about 2 years old. My dad put a knife in my hand and said, "Boy, let me tell you what. You're going to need to learn how to use this tool. This is not a weapon, this is a tool." And all throughout my early childhood, I kept hearing about knives, guns, everything. This is a tool. This is how we put food on the table. This is a tool, not a weapon, and if you ever dare treat it as a weapon, you will never handle this ever again. And we have way too much work for you to do that and to abuse these items. These are tools. Never treat them as anything else but. And we started making white oak baskets. He taught me how to do that. And as the years went, we traveled. And as you'll notice, I don't really have an accent for this area, and I talk pretty good. It's because I've done a lot of demonstrating and I've been on the road so much that I'm never in the same area for very long, so I never pick up an accent. When I finally picked up an accent, I was in West Virginia, and I didn't realize it. I was house setting for a homestead, an off-the-grid homestead. I was house setting while they went to Florida for the summer, and I didn't realize it until I was at home one day, and I was like, I asked my brother, "What hour is it?" And I caught myself because I heard my accent.
Yeah.
So I noticed that I said hour rather than hour. So we travel around. We love to hand make stuff. We take wood that we've salvaged. This is all wood that either came from a sawmill that they cut off. It's wood that was gifted to us. It's wood that we found in storms. It's wood that we found dead and dying in nature or diseased timber. And we take, and with our hand tools and a few power tools, we make these items. And a lot of the items that I have on the table can only be made by hand. These bread bowls that I'm carving, from start to finish, they are entirely by hand. There is no power tools other than a chainsaw to cut the log.
So you work with metal too?
Yes, sir. I hand forge my own tools. I have to work with metal.
Huh?
I hand forge my own tools. I
Oh,
have
is
to
that
work
right?
with metal. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
There's times that I'll go out and buy when I'm doing good, but for the most part, I make up my own tools.
That's good. I'd cover my coffee.
You know what? It's a woodworking thing. That coffee's going to get cold. It's going to get undrinkable. I'll probably end up throwing it away at the end of the night, and it's going to have way more wood shavings in it than coffee before long.
Let's give it that little extra flavor.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all we're doing.
Oh, I get this.
Now, if you use it, you've bought it. So I can't sell it pre-used.
No, I did say I would buy two.
Oh, well, hey, that would be greatly appreciated if you bought it. We at the Bodging Bigfoot focus on keeping a lot of our traditional Appalachian crafting heritage alive. So in the 1800s and 1900s, all the way up through the Great Depression, even until now, this is a way of that we have always made things here in the Shenandoah Valley. This is the old-fashioned way of doing it. And, you know, I feel that it needs to be kept up. So there needs to be somebody with the knowledge and skill set to be able to pass it on. Bowl carving and everything, you can go anywhere in the world and learn that, but one of the items that I have here that no one else can ever probably offer here in Virginia, unless they actually take the time to learn it, is our traditional white oak baskets. I go out into the wood, I find a diseased and dying tree, I cut it down, and it's not a healthy tree. It's a tree that nature has already determined is going to die. It's a tree that is going to die, it's diseased, and I pull it apart by the growth ring to make the various parts for the basket, and then I make the basket. And the baskets are typical of what has been here in the Shenandoah Valley for generations. And I'm the last person with that bit of knowledge here in the valley. There's two people here in the valley right now. One is my dad and one is me. And when my dad is no longer able to do it or to teach it, if no one has taken it up, it falls to me. And if no one in my generation or anybody that I teach picks it up and carries it on, the tradition and the basket making, our identity for baskets here in the valley, are done, dead, and gone.
That's cool, buddy.
It is.
I love woodworking. I used to do it when I was in school. I never kept up with it.
Woodworking is special, man. It's, you know,
I did some carving. I made some little candy dishes for Mom. I made a pastry.
oh, that's awesome. Yes. Woodworking is very, very special.
Yeah.
It's
I
what
loved
keeps,
it. I did.
this is what keeps me sane. This is like my everyday wake up. I'm excited to get out of bed.
Yeah.
This is what keeps me from absolutely losing my sanity. I got a bare's thread of it left, but it's because of this, you know? It's my passion, it's my reason, it's my drive.
Everything looks great, buddy. Good job.
Thank you. It's a lot of practice. Whittling. Did somebody accuse me of being a whittler? I am not a, well, I am a whittler. I feel like I'm in Brave. All right. Woo, I see sapwood. So because we're demonstrating, I'm not really worrying so much. You might see cracks and go, oh man, you're carving cracked wood. Well, I'm at a demonstration. I'm not sure about what these bowls will do, and I'm not sure about what this wood will do. So I've taken a couple pieces of it. I've left the cracks in here, and I'm just going to carve it with the cracks and see what happens. If the wood is good, the cracks will seal up and never be a problem. If the wood is bad, it's going to crack all the way, and the bowl will be ruined, and all this time and effort will be wasted. At least it will be viewed by a few people here on YouTube, and the efforts will be preserved somewhat. So there might be some good that comes out of this. Bubble, 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 bubble. All right. There we go. That's what I want to see. So we're going to do is take this. The bottom of the bowl has a little warp in it. We're going to shave that off, make that nice and even. Make it set nice and flat. Again, jar that a little bit, sorry. Excuse me. That's the water, coffee, and a couple of fruity pebble snacks. All right. Oop, wrong one. A lot of work for a bowl. Don't know how we traditional craftsmen are going to stay alive in this economy. No one's going to want to pay for the work because no one's going to have the money. Boom, boom. Look at that. Nice, even. Boom, boom. This is going to set really nice, really flat. Those ends are nice and even. So now what we need to do is get rid of all these corners. We want it to be nice and rounded, or close to it. Now the one thing about carving these bread bowls the way I do is that each one is going to be unique. One might be a little bit more lopsided than the other, but it gives it a sense of individuality. And I like my work to be unique. I don't like cookie cutters. Just look at that grain. Just look at that. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Drop the penny there. Sorry. So you're okay.
Just gonna round that on over. Ha. YouTube. Tough crowd. Tough crowd. Why is it on all my other social media? It goes off. It goes haywire. Still learning my way around YouTube. That's alright. We will learn, we will grow. Or I'll just keep being annoying. I'll learn. I'll figure it out. Since the real success is not online. The real success is out here. The real success is being able to sit down and show the world how to carve a bowl with a set of homemade adzes. That was made in Ukraine. When you've worked too long. Coffee.
Just like chopping that wood.
Absolutely. That's what it is.
Cool.
It's chopping it with a design in mind. So, I've got my adzes out,
Yeah.
and my adzes are like, these guys are like a big gouge with a handle.
Yeah.
So, what I do is, just like I would with an axe, I decide what design I want on the piece, how I want it to look, and these adzes allow me to nibble up to that design, so I'm not damaging or breaking the bowl, you know? I get to sneak up on it with these guys. Those are some postcards that my wife took a picture of.
Yeah.
Well, she took the picture and made the postcards.
Yeah.
I just didn't have a thing to put them out on, a display stand. Howdy!
How are you?
Man, I am doing great. It's a beautiful day. I'm carving bowls. I'm almost finally out of wood. Oh, this is the first time I have stood up in what feels like forever. But what we're doing is we're demonstrating traditional bread bowl carving. So bread bowls are almost a thing of the past, but People love to use them for displays. There's some people that will actually still use them for food to make their dough in, all that stuff to let the dough rise. It's a very ancient process. It's a very ancient item. And we strive and we love to do, the more ancient it is, we go all the way, with this bowl, we go all the way back pre-Moses. So we go all the way back before 1500 BC. Who knows how long it was when somebody was like, oh, I'm going to make dough. Oh, I need a bowl. And this is what they came up with.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So these things have been made since before the time of Moses. And the tools haven't changed much.
Huh.
Awesome.
And those are our skeleton ornaments.
Okay.
Aw. Neat.
It is. The more you look, hopefully, the more neater everything will become.
Yeah.
Everything has a story. Every piece of wood is unique. There's no two exactly alike.
Right.
And it's functional in the highest form of degrees. You know, you can take it, you can use this bowl that I'm carving when it's done. You'll be able to use it if it survived my drying process. You'll be able to use it for your food, for whatever display, whatever. It'll be a functional item for hundreds and hundreds of years. Hopefully, a lot of my stuff will end up, Lord willing, in antique stores of the future long after I'm gone. The only problem is I'm 37 years old and I'm starting to find my stuff in antique stores now.
Nice.
So that's the
Okay.
problem when you do
Awesome.
something so well that
Yeah.
it blends in with antiques. So I guess I'm making antique bowls daily, you know?
Yeah.
But the process is always the same. It starts off as a lump of firewood, as a lump of wood. We don't really go out and buy wood. We'll buy it from tree trimmers.
Okay.
We get wood from, if you're a tree trimmer or whatever and you got a load of very special wood, that's how we got the holly. I don't know if you're into tree trimming, you might know the dinguses. Well, the dinguses tree trimming was like we cut a bunch of holly down.
Yeah.
So they brought me 10 tons of this tree, and this tree was as tall on the ground. The circumference was to the height of this table.
Mm.
Wow.
Some monster stuff. They couldn't bring themselves to burn it. And some other tree trimmers in the area, they'll come across burls or whatnot, and they'll be like, hey, we got some cherry burl, we got some maple burl, we got some burley wood. We don't know what to do with it, but we know you like the carved wood, so here we are, here's the wood. Can you help us out? And I'm like, yes. I'm actually really shocked because I used to go out all the time and scrounge for my wood, and here I am.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, throughout COVID, here I am, like, people are bringing me wood. People are asking if I want to buy the wood, and I'm like, huh. So, to be a blessing in the community, because this is a community-based thing, and the community of Page County is the reason why I'm able to do this. They supported me. They allowed me to go out to events and sell. They supported my way of doing things.
Okay.
So, and just the lifestyle that I lived. So the people were very generous. They bought, and I have had nothing but good reports for years and years and years and years and years
Yeah.
about all my stuff. And now, years and years later, here I am. I'm online and everything, and I'm selling stuff all over the world. I'm traveling all over the country with what I do. There's not been pre-COVID. I could have gone from here, from in Page County in Luray, all the way down through Texas, all the way up through Alaska, and then gone up the top of the United States into Canada and all that, doing nothing but craft shows.
Nice.
I know.
What is this called?
That is a bark basket.
Oh.
That's one of my popular bark baskets. It's a very simple thing, and I made that a couple of years ago, and that's the last one I have of the batch. But you'll notice the hole in the back. That's so that you can hang it up on a nail or something on the wall,
Okay.
and you can hang flowers in it.
Awesome.
People absolutely love that, being able to put that on the wall and hang dried flowers or green flowers in it. They loved it. So, that's like, I'm shocked I still have that one. Because
Wow,
I made like 300 or
nice.
400 of them, and that's the last one.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. Very nice.
Thank you.
Alright.
All right. base. So I'm giving it a gentle slope, I'm giving it a gentle round. So I went from hard straight angle to gently rounding it over. Because now I'm just blending stuff in. He's around it. Just take this axe.
Entonces, ¿cómo es la mano?
Boom. Boom. Around that corner. Yeah, man. Chop, chop, chop. We're getting closer. So, for everyone wondering, this is a block of walnut. I call this my Rocky Road walnut because you'll see how the tannic acid and stuff has seeped into the sapwood. So, I think it's a mixture of the tannic acid getting mixed in there from the bark. So, it's actually soaking in through the bark. Sometimes when it's closer here, it could be the heartwood, but the sun is agitating it, baking it, and it gets beautiful like that. You don't get that in fresh walnut. So I love it when it turns Rocky Road like that. And I call it Rocky Road just for my amusement, because that's what it reminds me of is Rocky Road ice cream. All right, boom, 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 boom. Shave up the rim just a little bit. There we go. So that's the bowl. Rough. Even though it doesn't look rough, it's still rough. So what I'm going to do is get the finishing adze. This is a finishing adze. It's a little bit tighter. You'll notice the angle of this guy is really straight. You'll notice that this guy, he's got a definite swoop in. He's a little bit, there we are. You line it up. You line the back of it up. You'll see that the sweep of it is a lot steeper. That sweep of it allows me to take finishing cuts, and those finishing cuts look like this. I just go all over the bowl. Now I can hit the high spots, leave the low spots, and leave the facets, but we're putting the little facets in now. Even out the rim, work it down. That. And again, for those wondering, this has an exterior bevel. So we're using the bevel to guide us. And for those just joining us and watching, well, this is what I see when I carve bowls. I've tried to adjust the camera to about what I would see. So both of us have almost the same view. I'm just a little higher. So I'm going to swoop the bottom in. Absolutely it is. And you'll see that there's no marks, no reference points. It's purely what I see in my head and how I see it. When I was first starting, that's all I did was reference everything. Whether it was chair making, whether it was turning, whatever. I referenced diameters, referenced lengths. For bowls, I drew out patterns, and then you do it enough, sooner or later, you become adjusted to it and you see it in the wood. It's a hard thing to explain, but I see the bowl that I'm trying to carve in the wood, and I'm just bringing it out. So here we are, and you'll see here where that rim is nice and fairly even through here, and then it swoops up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this curve down a little bit more, like that, to keep our rim thickness fairly even. And with us doing that, that finishes giving it a swoop. So you'll see it's no longer a hard line, it's a very soft curved line. And we just go all the way around like that. Boom. Pecking away at it. Sweep it down. Facets. Those out. We don't want any chop marks other than clean faceted marks. That'll be that. You'll notice the difference in the wood too. The wood through here, where I've been hitting, is darker, and the wood in the center isn't. So all the wood I've cut is fresh. This wood here is oxidized. That's how I know where I've hit and where I've not, where I need to work, and where I've already worked. Now we'll just blend all that
Back
together.
here again, sweeping crumbs and sweeping crumbs.
Oh, they'll be the last ones that need to be gotten tonight.
Oh, goodness.
There has been. Oh, and just so you know, we are recording, but you are not in the recording.
Do what?
We are recording a live, so.
Oh, okay.
But you're not in it, though. It's all focused
Okay.
on the bowl.
Okay.
Just to let you know, per
Thank
request.
you.
Watch our fingers. Sweep it down. I wonder if YouTube is recording this live. Will it be like all everyone else's or do I need to? You know what? We'll figure it out when we get there. So I've got some high spots right here.
Can't make up this stuff.
Got a high spot right here. High spot right here. Through here. Chop that off. Chop that off. Aha. Still got a high spot right there. Missed it. Or maybe I created it. And you'll see that we're drawing that edge thickness down pretty even. Boom. Boom. That
It was your thing that was like $12.
is the bowl, and it went from a block of firewood. Ooh, that is sexy. It's not very often I do work that I think is super sexy, but that is super sexy. That makes me excited to start chopping into it.
Thank you. Let me see where he is. I told him to call me. I got his phone and dropped it.
Ooh. So, now that we've done that, I might take a little bit more off the bottom of this bowl. In fact, now I know I am. I chopped into it just a hair. Not enough to be a concern. But this side's a little higher than this side, so I'm going to want a little bit more length and a little bit more width. And I don't really want all this hardwood. Probably watching this and going, Bigfoot, it's walnut, we want the hardwood. I'm going to be like, yo, it's a bowl. All of it needs to be balanced. I don't want it to look like a canoe either. Same deal here. It's starting to get thick right there, so we'll just work it down. Boom. YouTube will save this live. It'd be nice if it posted it on my account. Look at that. Won't be much longer before this mall is closed. And we're still working. All right. All right. Chip, 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 chip. This is gonna make a beautiful bowl for somebody. Chip, 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 chip. There we go. Ooh. All right. And before I end this live, we're only going to do the outside of it on this one. I'm going to take this down with the axe. It's right about there. But trim, clean this up. Head in. Head in. Here, this side. Because obviously we're going against the grain there. Go against the grain, we'll go with the grain. And that looks, and it's nice and solid. Got a little bit of a wobble right there. Just shake that off. The block. All right. Where's that wobble? There we are. Nice and flat. No wobble in it whatsoever. And now, that hardwood balance, that is so much better. Doesn't look like a canoe. It's got a good, flat, solid base. Doesn't wobble. And it just looks absolutely incredible. So, y'all, thank you for joining me. This has been fun. This is Bigfoot. Out.
Hey, that's really impressive.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome.